The answer is always Mazda Miata. Here are 5 reasons why in less than 5 minutes. So reason number 1, the Miata is a great choice. Cost. There's 4 different generations of Miata made for over 30 years, which means that there's a Miata to fit any budget. It used to always be that the NA or first generation Miatas were the cheapest, but now collectors have started snapping those up. These days we'd recommend the later NC chassis Miata as a great budget pick. A little newer, you have the ND chassis. Those are a little bit more money, but they're also modern cars that don't have the old car problems of the other ones. In the middle there is the NB Miata. It sort of has all of the lightweight and originality of an NA Miata with some of the nicer creature comforts of newer cars. So our pick for the absolute best value in the Miata world right now, if you're looking for a dual-purpose sports car, would be an NC Miata. These are a little bit bigger chassis than the other cars. They actually share a lot of parts with an RX-8, but that means that they're better street cars, and the aftermarket is almost infinite for them. You can pick up a decent NC that maybe has cooling system issues for 5 or 10 grand and build it into a great dual-purpose car. Okay, reason number 2, parts. There are so many aftermarket companies supporting Miatas. There is Mazda themselves that support it with their motorsports program at dealers. There are people who sell all the used parts. If you've ever played with a Miata and then you go work on a different project car, you're going to be blown away by how much harder it is to find parts and support than it is when you're working on a Miata. You can get different suspension, different rear ends. You can get all sorts of stuff for these cars. Okay, reason number 3, reliability. So, let's say you want a British sports car, something like an MGB or a Lotus Elan, but you want it to have the reliability of a Japanese car. That's why you should buy a Miata. The engineers actually started with those little British cars with the goal of making a reliable, easy to live with sports car, and the Miata was the result. And the other cool thing is when they do break, it's pretty easy to work on. It's got a very traditional front engine, rear wheel drive layout, which means that unlike a lot of modern cars that are very tightly packaged or have specialty tools, that sort of thing, it is so easy to work on a Miata, it's like working on something from the 70s. So reliability is reason number 3 to buy a Miata. Okay, reason number 4 you want a Miata, the chassis. And I don't just mean that it's a nice chassis or it's stiff or something like that. The Miata is basically the platonic ideal of a traditional sports car. A front engine, rear wheel drive, double wishbones at all 4 corners, and near perfect 50-50 weight distribution. As far as the starting point goes to build a sports car, there is no better layout than a Miata. And the other cool thing about a Miata is it hasn't been neutered as it's come into the 21st century. It's still a front engine, rear wheel drive layout. It's still one of the best driving cars you could buy today. Reason number 5 you want a Miata, the community. There is no better supported car in amateur racing than a Mazda Miata. Go to any track day, go to any autocross, go to any car show. Odds are you'll see more Miatas than any other single make and model there. And that's awesome if you have one yourself because everybody there can give you advice. You can find used parts on forums. You could find help. You can find setup tips. There's never been an easier car to build, to race, to maintain than a Miata because of the community of people that are there with you the whole way, making sure you get it done. And the Miata community isn't just huge, it's passionate about the kind of motorsports we do. You know, there's a huge community that plays with all sorts of different cars, but sometimes they're into stereo stuff, they're into car shows, they're into off-road, that kind of thing. The cool thing about everybody who plays with Miatas is for the most part, they're going to the track, they're autocrossing, they're racing, and that means that the community is actually helpful when you need advice to build your race car. That's reason number 5 you want a Miata. Okay, that's 5 reasons that Miata is always the answer. If you want to learn more, please head over to grassrootsmotorsports.com. And if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Until next time, we'll see you at the track.
Support brands who support Grassroots Motorsports. Get your chemical solutions from CRC Industries. To learn more, visit crcindustries.com.